Sometimes I Might Be Introvert isn't just one of the best albums of the 2020s, it's a masterpiece. It's a cinematic, ambitious, soul-bearing record that put Little Simz in the spotlight. It won awards, gained her thousands of new fans, and proved she could hold her own among the best in the world. So after something that big, that bold, that polished, what comes next? Well, if you're Little Simz, the answer is not what you'd expect. Instead of doubling down on grandeur, she's stripped everything back. Her latest track, Free, is raw, honest, and quietly powerful. In this video, I'm breaking down why Little Simz made the bold choice to strip things back after the huge success of Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, and what it might tell us about the powerful direction she's heading next. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ollie and it is my goal to make music sound better to you. If that's something you're interested in, consider hitting the subscribe button. Sometimes I Might Be Introvert by Little Simz is one of the most powerful and creative albums of the 2020s. It's bold, emotional, and full of truth. From the very first track, you can tell it's something special. This album feels like it was made for you to really sit with. Deeply personal, but sounding massive. Almost like a movie mixed with smart, honest rap. The opening track, Introvert, immediately pulls you in. Those loud, beautiful horns and strings make you feel like you're stepping into a movie. Then Simz starts rapping about fear, identity, and finding your voice. She talks about the weight of being a black woman, being in the spotlight, and the struggles of staying true to yourself. If you watch the music video, you'll see how powerful it all looks too. Dancers, protest, pride. It's loud in the best way while still speaking directly to your own quiet strength. Then there's Woman, a smoother, jazzier track where Simz celebrates women from all walks of life. The beat is warm and Cleo Sol's vocals make you feel like you're seen and lifted. The music video feels like a celebration you want to be part of. Beautiful, proud, and powerful. If you've ever needed a reminder of your worth or strength, this one feels like it's talking to you. Between songs, Simz includes these little spoken pieces, like scenes from a play voiced by actress Emma Corrin. They feel like someone guiding you through the story, helping you make sense of what you're hearing and feeling. It's cinematic, but it's still deeply personal, like a journey you've been invited to walk through with her. On I Love You, I Hate You, she shares the pain of her relationship with her father. The honesty might catch you off guard, but it's emotional and heavy, but it helps you reflect on your own relationships and how forgiveness and growth aren't always easy, but they matter. By the time you reach Misunderstood, the final track, it feels like Simz is speaking directly to you. She opens up about everything she's been through and what she's still figuring out. It's quiet and reflective, and by the end you might feel like you've just had a real vulnerable conversation with her. What makes Sometimes I Might Be Introvert so special is that it doesn't just tell a story, it invites you into it. The songs, the storytelling, the visuals, even the skits, they all work together to give you a full experience. It's emotional and honest, and whether you're dancing to the beat or just sitting thinking, it connects with you. That's why this album sticks with you long after it ends. It's not just music, it's something that helps you understand a little more of yourself. So after creating an album so big and cinematic, why would you decide to take things much more small scale? When you listen to Free, you can really hear that Little Simz is in a different place than she was before. Her last album, Simbi, was full of big sounds, orchestras, bold lyrics, and huge production. It was her saying to the world, look at what I can do, and she did it. But with Free, she's not trying to prove anything. She's already done that, and now she's just being real with you. Take this lyric from the first verse. I think that love is forgiving yourself. I think that love is offering your immediate help. This shows she's looking inward. She is thinking about what really matters. She's not talking about money, fame, or success. She's talking about love, honesty, and helping others. That's a huge shift in tone, and it sets the mood for the rest of the track. Later in the verse she raps, God, you love me, though I am flawed. I know I'm not an innocent child, but I am yours. This line shows that she's found peace in accepting who she is, mistakes and all. She's not chasing perfection, she's chasing truth. And when you hear this, it feels like she's giving herself permission to be herself, and permission for you to do the same. In the second verse, she switches from love to fear. I think fear can be exposed in abundance of wealth, and then creeps in when you're not loving yourself. She's telling you that fear can hide behind success. Even when things look great on the outside, fear can sneak in if you don't feel right inside. That's a deep message. and she says it without any flashy beats or over-the-top production. She just says it straight. And perhaps the most powerful line in this one, look in the mirror and say, "I love you unconditionally every day." That's the kind of thing you don't expect to hear in a rap song, but that's what makes it so special. Simz is using her platform to tell you something simple but powerful. Real freedom starts with self-love. So when you hear Free, notice how stripped back it sounds. No big hooks, no loud drums, just Simz and her thoughts. It's not because she's being lazy, it's the opposite. It's her saying, "This is me, no distractions." It takes confidence to make a song like this, especially after such a big album like Simbi, but she did it anyway. And that's what makes Free feel brave, honest and powerful. She's not chasing what people expect, she's leading with her heart, and that's exactly what separates her from everyone else. Before we jump into the next part, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the video so far. It really helps the channel grow. And while you're at it, drop a comment below and let me know what you love about Little Simz. I'd love to hear what you think. There's something strange about creative work. The more you try to please everyone, the more you risk losing the very spark that made people care in the first place. You've probably felt this yourself. When an artist chases trends or plays it safe, it shows. The music feels hollow, forced, like they're second guessing what you want instead of just expressing themselves honestly. Take Chance the Rapper. After falling in love with acid rap or colouring book, maybe you expected his debut album to be something powerful, joyful and true to his roots. But when the big day dropped, it felt like he was just trying to juggle everything. Mainstream appeal, personal milestones and fan expectations. The album ended up feeling bloated and confused. Instead of getting the raw, thoughtful chants you connected with, you got something that felt overly polished and strangely empty. And you probably felt let down. Or maybe you remember the buzz around Eminem's revival. With big features like Beyonce and Ed Sheeran, it was supposed to be his big return. But when you actually listened, it didn't land. It didn't sound like the hungry, clever M you grew up on. It sounded like someone trying to win people back by ticking boxes. And again, it left you cold. That's the risk when artists start creating from a place of fear or pressure. You feel it, the authenticity fades. The songs don't hit as hard because they're not being made from the same place of truth. But when artists stay true to themselves, even if it's not what you expected, that's when the best stuff happens. That's when you get something real, something surprising, something that challenges you or reflects something honest back at you. As David Bowie once said, always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in, because that's where the interesting stuff happens. You don't fall in love with artists because they play it safe. You fall in love with them because they take risks, they evolve, they trust their gut and invite you along for the ride. And even if you're not sure where they're taking you, you stick by them because it feels genuine. In the end, what you really want isn't perfection, it's connection. And that only happens when the artist is brave enough to follow their own path, not the one they think you want them to walk. Free is one of the bravest artistic decisions Little Simz has made in her career so far, not because it's loud or ambitious, but because it's quiet, personal and completely stripped of expectations. After Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, which was packed with orchestral flourishes, big narrative decisions and high-end visuals and global recognition, she stood at her career crossroads. That album proved she could do it all, be poetic, political, vulnerable, cinematic and slick, all in one project. So naturally, everyone waited to see how she would top it. Would she go bigger, more features, more production? Instead, she went inwards. Free feels like a direct rejection of the pressure to scale up. There are no booming drums or grand arrangements, it's soft, spiritual, and sounds like it was made in a room where honesty mattered more than perfection. It leans into spoken word, gospel textures, and soulful repetition. Not exactly what most would expect as a major follow-up. Simz doesn't try to one-up her last project. She doesn't perform for you, she invites you in. That choice carries risk. Commercially, it's not a track designed for playlists or instant chart success, but creatively, it's powerful. Choosing to open a new chapter not with a bang, but with a reflection, signals an artist completely in control of her voice and purpose. By doing this, she echoes the steps of other fearless artists, like Frank Ocean releasing Blonde after Channel Orange, moving from rich storytelling to something far more abstract or intimate, or Kanye West pivoting from maximalist Graduation to the raw, grief-stricken 808s and Heartbreak. These shifts confuse people at first, but they've aged beautifully, precisely because they were honest. With Free, Little Simz reminds you that art doesn't always grow by going bigger, sometimes it grows by going deeper. This isn't Simz trying to stay relevant, this is Simz trying to stay real. And that takes guts. The lyrics of Free by Simz offer a deeply revealing portrait of where she's at right now, personally, creatively and spiritually. It's not just a song, it's a statement of intent. After the critical and commercial success of Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, Simz could have leaned into the fanfare, the orchestral grandeur and the heightened expectation, but the words of Free make it clear. She's not here to perform for approval, she's here to live in truth, and that means stripping it all back. Stripping back a track isn't just about using fewer instruments, it's about creating space. And when a song is simple, you don't just hear the music, you feel it. There's nothing crowding your ears, so the emotion behind each word and each sound comes through more clearly. It's like having a one-on-one conversation instead of trying to talk in a noisy room. You're not distracted by 1,000 layers, you're focused, present, and that's where the power lies. In a world where music often fights for your attention with big beats and flashy production, a stripped back track like Free by Little Simz feels different. It feels intentional. Simz had every right to go bigger after Simbi. That album was huge, packed with cinematic soundscapes, live orchestras and grand moments. It won awards, brought her new fans and proved how far she could go. But instead of following that up with something even louder, she did the opposite. And in doing so, she reminded you that power can be quiet. Free strips back everything that doesn't serve the message. The production is minimal, there's no over-the-top chorus, no layered vocals, no big drop. It's just a steady beat, a warm chord progression, and Simz's voice laid bare. And you can hear the breath between her words. You can feel the weight of her tone. She talks about love, fear, self-growth, deep universal themes that are so human, they don't need dressing up. Take the line, I think that love is understanding that people can change and loving them through every stage. That hits different when there's nothing else around it. It's not hidden in a wall of sound, it lands directly and it makes you reflect, not just on her words, but on your own relationships, your own growth, your own fears. When she says, fear will probably hear this and feel exposed, fear works best when love isn't close. She turns fear into a character, something living in the dark. But with just her voice and those stripped back chords, it feels like she's shining a light on it for the first time. You hear it and you believe her. By removing the extras, Little Simz gives her message room to breathe, and in that space, something beautiful happens. You connect, not just to the song, but to her, and maybe even to yourself. That's the power of stripping back. It's not just about what's missing, it's about what becomes possible when there's room for you to feel it. In the end, we don't know yet if the rest of the album will follow the stripped back style of Free, or if it's just one chapter in a bigger story. But with other songs like Flood and Young, it's clear Little Simz is willing to step outside of her comfort zone more than ever. This could lead to an album that sounds nothing like Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, and that might actually be a good thing. Because when an artist like Little Simz follows her own path, the result is often something bold, honest and completely original. And whatever direction she takes next, you'll know it'll be worth paying attention to.